Welcome to Florida International University, PAD 6056, Module 9. My name is Edsel Abreu, and today I will be talking about the new civil service. For more than 200 years, government has been trying to overcome the criticism from the public associated to employee performance and the effectiveness of government execution. Even Alexander Hamilton, one of the nation's founding fathers, warned the public about the dangers of a badly executed government. Today's story is connected to the efforts from a local government to replace employees expected to retire and the efforts to change automatic merit increases to a performance-based system. It is expected that during the next 5 years, the entire country will experience an increase of retirements across all industries. It is likely that the baby boomer generation that entered the workforce post-World War II will start to leave the labor force and create a vacuum that needs to be filled by a new generation. Public service, as any other industry, will be affected, and because of this, the civil service has developed an interest to create mechanisms to facilitate change and implement effective performance measures for the new wave of employees. One particular county located in the continental southeast corner of the United States realized the need to implement a program that would deal with the expected departure of a significant portion of the workforce that is mostly linked to the baby boomer generation. Furthermore, the program included a method to shift the automatic increase system into a performance-based format. The county manager, along with the senior staff and the director of human resources, came to the conclusion that within the next 10 years, approximately 25% of the country employees were eligible for retirement, either because reaching retirement of age or completing 30 years of service. Of course, it is understood that being eligible for retirement did not automatically translate into actually retirement, but at least the potential liability was identified. The Human Resources Director, after given specific instructions by the mayor to develop a succession plan to address the political institution knowledge drain and to facilitate the latent departure of a large number of employees, started a search for best practices. After a few weeks, the framework of the succession planning was developed and centered in the idea to create a mentorship pairing between the new staff and senior classifications that were either scheduled to retire, held key positions, or were 57 years or older. The objective of the plan was simple: match new talent with senior staff to promote mentorship relationships, to transfer institutional knowledge, and implement a new performance-based merit increase that eventually would replace the guaranteed annual merit process. It is important to indicate that based on the Penal Act of 1883 and the Civil Service Act of 1978, the current system of entitlement had taken root into the most employees' expected automatic annual merit increases within the county. Unfortunately, for management, union leaders did not want to have restrictions to the automatic merit increase system. This was particularly disputed since management was responsible to determine good performance in the plan. This objection by unions should not have been surprising to management, considering that paying union members are usually the more tenured employees and in turn the ones that would be directly affected if a performance-based merit increase was to be implemented. For the administration, the biggest challenge was to overcome the required contractual agreement needed between unions and administration to implement changes to employee wages. Wages is one of the areas that are required to be bargained under labor laws, and management can't just change the way employees get paid. The process has to be negotiated, and if necessary, and if there's a dispute, an arbitration process has to be followed before any changes can be effectuated. For the following 10 years, the administration and the unions went back and forth trying to find common ground. to implement some kind of performance-based process. However, after many failed attempts and isolated successes, the idea of performance merit increases was completely abandoned. This particular story identifies within a single objective the difficulty of changing something that is on the surface very simple and reasonable. Most of the difficulty with changing government has to do with the perpetual increase in layers of government. These layers are created because of the extensive and complex ventures that government is responsible for and the creation of new departments supported by both political parties. But the increase in the size of government has somehow created a growing distrust in government among citizens and employees themselves. A random sample survey by college seniors conducted by Paul C. Light from the University of New York suggested that students view civil service as a place for pay, benefits, job security, but not challenging work. On the other hand, non-profit organizations are considered by the same group to be organizations to go for if it is interested in making a difference and to learn a new skill. With the increase in scope and responsibility and the rising distrust in government, it is not surprising that civil service is going through a difficult period. Proponents of civil service reform contend that effective government results when public and non-profit organizations adopt the new private sector models of productivity and management. Although attempts to move towards an at-will employment has been initiated by states like Georgia, Texas, or Florida, the results are not clearly defined as of right now. Problems with the violation of merit principles and the impacts to professional attitudes are still not clearly recognized. Going forward, the challenge continues to increase, and it is up to the new generations of scholars and civil workers to develop ways to improve a system that obviously is not yielding either satisfied customers or employees. Implementing a system that values productivity and does account for the value of people does not seem to work. Changes to the hierarchy of management, considering human factors like culture and social groups, must be part of the equation, and eliminating all practices of using controls to achieve efficiency and replace them with incentive, it is the key to the new public management. Public sector managers must tap into the motivation that comes with employees selecting a public service career and developing it into the drive to perform. Thank you for watching. This was Edsel Abreu, and until the next topic. Thanks.